Leo, let's get straight to the truth. The money will come to you on October 7th, 2025. A financial portal is opening, and it has your name written all over it. This isn't a clickbait line, and it's not wishful thinking. If you're here, watching this video at this exact moment, something deeper has drawn you in. There's a reason this message found you, and it's not just because you're curious about horoscopes. You feel something shifting inside you. Maybe it's subtle. Maybe it's been building up quietly. But it's there, that knowing, that intuition that says, something big is coming. I just don't know what it is yet. I've watched enough people sleep through their blessings because they thought they had more time. That won't be you. Not this time. Because this moment is different. The cosmic setup on October 7th is one of those rare alignments that doesn't just bring opportunity, it demands attention. And Leo, when the universe speaks, you don't sit back. You roar. Right now, Jupiter is in a powerful trine with your Sun. Venus is making a money-focused move into your second house, the house of income, personal value, and stability. That alone would be enough. But Tarot has also stepped in with a clear sign. The wheel of fortune is spinning in your favor. These aren't just pretty words. These are real forces lining up behind the scenes, setting things in motion that you may not fully understand yet, but you will soon. The question is, will you be ready to claim it? If your heart just skipped a beat, that's your confirmation. If your palms got a little warm, your body already knows. And if you've been seeing 7s, 10s, or hearing whispers of change, this is your message. A portal doesn't ask for permission to open, it opens when it's time. The only thing it asks from you is presence, action, and belief. I want you to know you don't need to hustle harder or be better to deserve what's coming. You've already done the inner work. You've already weathered the storms. The universe is not rewarding perfection. It's rewarding authenticity, alignment. And Leo, you've been aligning in silence longer than anyone knows. Now comes the return. So here's what we're going to do. I'm not here to hype you up with vague promises. I'm here to guide you step by step through the energy map of October 7th. I'm going to show you what's happening astrologically, what the tarot is saying, and how you can prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to receive. This isn't about manifesting some imaginary windfall. It's about recognizing the exact moment when your energy becomes magnetic to money, influence, and life-changing opportunities, and having the clarity and courage to say yes to it. If this resonates, I want you to say so. Not for me, for you. Claim the energy out loud, in writing, in action. Leave a comment below right now. I claim my October 7th financial breakthrough. You don't have to explain yourself. Just declare it. And if you've been a part of this channel for a while, or even if this is your first time, let me take a moment to thank you. Your support, your time, your trust, and your presence here give this work meaning. Every like, every share, every comment moves this energy further out into the world and deeper into your life. So thank you. Truly. And trust me, Leo, you'll want to stay until the very end of this video. Because what the universe is preparing to reveal to you today, it's not only powerful, it's personal. Let's begin. It's strange, isn't it, how certain dates seem to hum with a different kind of energy? October 7th, 2025, is one of those days. Not because it's marked by some grand event you can circle in red on a calendar, but because beneath the surface, something precise and powerful is aligning, and Leo, it's aligning for you. This is the kind of day where the unseen becomes tangible, where invisible threads of energy tighten into opportunity. It's not theory. It's movement. It's invitation. Jupiter, the cosmic expander, is in a harmonious trine with your sun, your essence. This isn't just good astrology, it's a gentle cosmic push forward after what may have felt like a long internal pause. Jupiter doesn't shout. It nudges. It opens space. When it touches the sun, especially your sun, Leo, it's like someone pulling back the curtain and letting the light hit you fully again. And maybe you didn't even realize how long you've been in the shadows, playing strong for others, carrying loads in silence, convincing yourself that your time would come eventually. This is eventually. It's now. Venus, too, isn't just floating somewhere in the cosmos. She's entered your second house, the realm of income, self-worth, and what you allow yourself to receive. So let's talk honestly. Have you allowed yourself to truly receive lately? Not just scraps. Not just the bare minimum. But actual abundance, the kind that fills your belly, your bank account, and your soul. This placement invites you to revisit what you think you deserve. Not in theory. In action. Are you settling? Are you playing small while the universe is screaming more? Venus in this position says, if you value it, claim it. If you claim it, embody it. And that's a practice, not a wish. And then, as if astrology wasn't already whispering enough, the Wheel of Fortune appears in your tarot alignment. The wheel doesn't spin for no reason. It turns when it's time. And when it does, it usually brings some disruption, not to hurt you, but to wake you. To stir you from the stale rhythm of one day, and show you, this is the day. But here's the thing people forget about this card. It doesn't promise ease. It promises change. And change, as we know, often comes dressed in uncomfortable clothing. But oh, Leo, if you can move with the wheel instead of resisting it, the gain on the other side is more than just money. It's clarity. It's direction. It's healing disguised as opportunity. This combination, Jupiter on your sun, Venus in your money house, the Wheel of Fortune whispering, ready or not, is more than a coincidence. It's an energetic agreement between you and the universe that now is the time to grow into your next season. And let's be real, you've outgrown your old season. You know it. You've been uncomfortable for a reason. That itch you've been feeling? That unsettled hum inside you? That wasn't anxiety. It was preparation. In spiritual terms, we often say faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And while I promise no religious framing here, I will say this: hope and expectancy are energies that magnetize. They are not passive. They're active alignments with something greater than your current circumstance. On October 7th, hope meets reality. Expectancy becomes result. But only if you show up ready. Open. Anchored in belief. Rooted in clarity. So no, today is not the day to doubt yourself. Today is not the day to play it safe or delay the thing your heart has been nudging you toward. You've waited long enough. The wheel has turned. The spotlight is yours again. Walk into it. With both feet. eyes open, shoulders back. And if your spirit whispered yes while reading this, even a quiet yes, then claim it out loud. Comment below, I receive what this day is bringing. I'm ready for the shift. Because sometimes, writing it is the first step to living it. Opportunities don't always knock with fanfare. Sometimes, they slip in softly like a whisper in the middle of a busy thought or a feeling you can't quite explain. October 7th might not start with fireworks, Leo, but make no mistake, something will shift. The kind of shift that only reveals itself to those who are paying attention. And that's where your gift comes in. You're not just someone who acts, you're someone who notices. You feel energy move before most people even recognize it's there. And on this day, that subtle movement is likely to appear in a form so ordinary, others would walk right past it. But not you. Maybe it's a text from someone you haven't heard from in months, reconnecting out of nowhere and mentioning an idea that sparks something in you. Or a conversation you didn't plan to have, but that suddenly turns into the start of a potential collaboration. Or perhaps you'll be in the middle of your morning routine, mind somewhere else entirely, when a fresh, bold idea drops in, and for the first time in a long time, it feels right. Real. Possible. These are not accidents. These are open doors disguised as everyday moments. The tricky part is this: you won't get a second invitation. The universe doesn't beg. It simply presents, and then it moves on. So what you choose to do with those small openings, that's where the story shifts. You can't always control the opportunity, but you can absolutely control the readiness. And readiness is not just a mindset, it's a posture. A decision to act even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. As a Leo, you're wired to lead. You bring light to places that have grown cold. You don't wait for permission to show up fully. That's your power. But sometimes, when life wears you down, even the boldest hearts start playing small. You stop initiating. You wait for signs. You second-guess yourself, wondering if maybe now's not the time. But this is the time. And that idea you've been sitting on? That instinct you keep pushing aside because it doesn't seem practical enough? It's not meant to make sense to everyone. It's meant to move you. I've worked with hundreds of people who told me, years later, that their breakthrough moment didn't look magical when it arrived. It looked like a choice. A conversation. A risk. But deep down, they knew, just like you're starting to know now. The shift didn't come because they had all the answers. It came because they said yes when the moment arrived, even when it was inconvenient. Even when fear tried to talk them out of it. Here's the truth: money follows movement. It doesn't follow perfection, or certainty, or comfort. It follows energy. Aligned energy. Courageous energy. And Leo, when you move from that place, things open for you that others can't even see. That's why I'm not here to give you a list of tips. I'm here to remind you of who you are, and what's waiting for you when you step forward. So let me ask you something, and don't answer with logic, answer with intuition. Have you felt something stirring lately? A flicker of opportunity that feels small now but might become everything if you leaned into it? If yes, write it down. Name it. Own it. Because energy responds to clarity. Comment below, I feel it coming, and I choose to follow the spark. That simple sentence might just be your first step toward what's next. Don't wait for the stars to draw you a map. The map is already inside you. All you have to do now is move. Some moments ask you to slow down, not because you're doing something wrong, but because the energy around you is preparing to shift and it needs your full attention. This is one of those moments, Leo. October 7th isn't just a date, it's a vibration, a signal, a door slightly ajar. But to walk through it, you need more than just optimism. You need presence, alignment, and a kind of stillness that doesn't come from sitting quietly, but from tuning inward with clarity and purpose. While the outside world may be loud, your calendar full, your phone buzzing, your thoughts scattered, the real key to opening this financial portal lies in returning to yourself. Not to do more, but to become more available to what's already on its way. I've always believed that rituals, when done with intention, act as anchors. They take abstract energy and bring it into physical form. They tell the universe, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm serious. That's why creating a small, sacred moment around this day, whether at sunset on the 6th or just after sunrise on the 7th, can shift everything. Light a gold candle. Let it represent your willingness to be seen, to receive. Write down 3 things you're calling in, not vague hopes, but specific, embodied desires. Speak them out loud, not to beg, but to claim. Say them with the kind of gratitude that assumes they're already on their way, because in many ways, they are. That's how energy works. It doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to certainty. And that's what this ritual is about, not superstition, not trying to control an outcome, but stepping into the frequency of readiness. The words, I was born to receive money and light. I welcome this blessing with gratitude, aren't just affirmations. They're activations. You're not asking for permission. You're standing in agreement with what's already yours. And if you're someone who connects deeply with symbols or signs, this is the day to notice. If the number 7 shows up on a receipt, a clock, a random message, it's not random. It's confirmation. 7 is the number of spiritual attunement, alignment, inner wisdom. And 10? That's completion. The ending of a cycle, the beginning of something more expansive. Together, they speak a language the mind might not understand, but the soul recognizes instantly. You may also find yourself drawn to a certain card in tarot, the Ace of Pentacles. It's the first breath of a new financial chapter. An offering. Not a guarantee, but a seed. And if you draw that card or even just think about it today, it's worth asking, what are you doing with the opportunities you already have? Are you watering them? Or waiting for something better? Because often, the breakthrough isn't out there somewhere, it's in the quiet commitment to what's already unfolding. Even colors can help you hold the vibration. Surround yourself with golds, burnt orange, royal purple. These aren't just pretty shades, they carry energetic resonance. They speak to wealth, confidence, visibility. Wear them. Sit with them. Let them support your nervous system and remind you of your place in the center of all this power. Crystals like citron and pyrite are not magic stones, but they are tools. Carriers of memory and intention. Keep them close, and every time you see them, let them remind you of your decision to show up differently today. This kind of work isn't flashy. It doesn't always produce fireworks in the moment, but it opens space. And sometimes, space is exactly what's needed for something new to land. So if you're feeling a quiet pull to pause, to light a candle, to speak something into being, trust it. That nudge you feel isn't small. It's sacred. Listen, respond, and take one intentional step forward. And if all this stirs something in you, say it. Write it. Anchor it. Leave a comment below. I choose to prepare my energy for what I've already claimed. Because sometimes the boldest action isn't running towards something, it's standing still long enough to let it arrive. There's a moment in every breakthrough where the magic meets the mundane. And Leo, that moment for you is October 7th. We've spoken about portals, alignments, cards, and cosmic signs, but none of it matters unless you meet the energy halfway. Astrology may open the door, but you still have to walk through it. And that's where practical self-care steps in, not as a list of to-dos, but as a way of honoring what your body, mind, and spirit already know. Your life is shifting, and you're the one guiding the wheel. Let's start with something simple but often overlooked: your body. On days like this, when the energy is potent and your frequency is rising, clarity becomes everything. And clarity doesn't come through caffeine or sugar highs. That jolt might feel like focus, but more often it's just noise disguised as drive. So on October 7th, give your system space to breathe. Drink more water than usual. Skip the energy drinks. Choose grounding foods, nourishing, earthy, and stabilizing. Your nervous system doesn't need to be pushed, it needs to be supported. When your body feels safe, your intuition speaks louder. Walking meditation might sound too gentle for a sign like you: fiery, bold, ready for movement, but don't underestimate its power. Taking 15 minutes in the early morning to simply walk, breathe, and observe reconnects you with the rhythm of the universe. You begin to hear the energy instead of forcing it. That stillness doesn't slow you down. It sharpens you. And that's what this moment needs: not more effort, but deeper listening. Give your brain what it needs too. B vitamins and zinc aren't just nutrition talk, they're essential for mental clarity and confident decision-making. On a day of activation, your choices matter more. Support your system so that when the idea comes, when the offer appears, you're not foggy, distracted, or caught in overthinking. You're grounded, decisive, clear. In your work life, if there's a path you've been secretly wanting to explore, this is the moment to stop keeping it a secret. Submit that application. Send that pitch. Launch that project. You don't need perfection to begin, you need momentum. Often, the fear of being seen trying is what keeps the best ideas locked inside. But on a day like this, your energy has a magnetism to it. Speak, and people will lean in. Act, and doors will move. You don't need a full map. You just need the courage to take the first visible step. Now, money. This topic carries so much weight, and not always in the way we realize. Abundance isn't just about how much is in your account, it's about how much ownership you're taking over your resources. Go back and look at your spending. Where is your energy going? Where is it leaking? Don't treat this as punishment or scarcity thinking. This is clarity. When you take stock of your flow, you're sending a message: I respect what I have, and I'm ready for more. From that place, consider where to reinvest. Not just in things, but in growth. Knowledge. Support systems. Skills. Tools. Relationships. What will serve your future, not just your present. And finally, love. This isn't the dramatic kind with violins in the background. This is the kind that whispers, say what you mean. Mean what you feel. Maybe it's time to finally tell someone what they mean to you. Maybe it's time to forgive. Maybe it's just looking someone in the eyes a little longer than usual, letting them feel seen. Love moves in small, powerful waves. It heals when it's honest. You don't need a grand gesture. You need a real one. So today, take action. Small, intentional, aligned steps. Not because you're chasing the stars, but because you are finally walking in sync with them. And if this message landed, share it below. Let this be your way of grounding it. I honor this day with aligned action. I'm ready. That one sentence might be the most powerful move you make all day. There's something quiet but undeniable about the way numbers show up when you're on the edge of change. You don't have to be a mathematician or even someone who follows numerology closely to feel it. You just have to notice. That's all. You're going about your day, and suddenly the number 7 keeps popping upon receipts, on a passing license plate, in the corner of a phone screen. Then there's the 10, showing up when you're reflecting on something deeper, something ready to shift. Most people brush it off. But Leo, if you've made it this far in the journey, you're not most people. You know that these moments carry meaning. The number 7 has always held a certain kind of sacred vibration across cultures and systems. In astrology, it corresponds with Libra, the sign of balance, justice, and alignment. In numerology, 7 is the seeker, the intuitive one, the quiet guide that helps you look within. When 7 finds you, it's less about making something happen and more about listening. Slowing down just enough to hear the wisdom you've buried under noise. It's a call to trust the insight that doesn't always make logical sense but makes perfect energetic sense. If you've been searching for an answer outside of yourself, 7 gently nudges you back inward. It whispers, you already know. And then there's 10. Unlike 7, which invites you inward, 10 is momentum. It's a wheel turning. A door closing, not out of punishment but out of timing. 10 isn't an ending, it's a beginning disguised as a goodbye. That's the thing about life. You can't start the next chapter if you're still rereading the last one. 10 shows up when something is complete, but we haven't yet given ourselves permission to walk into what's next. And it takes courage, doesn't it? Letting go of what's familiar, even if it's uncomfortable, requires faith. But 10 comes with a quiet promise. What's ahead will not just replace what you're releasing, it will multiply it. When these two numbers show up together, especially around a day as significant as October 7th, the message is layered but clear. Something is awakening inside you. An internal click that says, this is the moment. It's not just about money. It's about alignment. The kind that brings peace and prosperity. The kind that moves you forward not just in action, but in spirit. You might feel this through dreams, gut instincts, sudden clarity, or an urge to change something, your schedule, your tone, your priorities. Don't dismiss it. These numbers are more than science theory mirrors. They reflect the energy you're already holding, asking you to acknowledge it and move with it. If you feel called, write this in your journal not just as a statement, but as a declaration of choice. I am ready to step into a new season of abundance. I agree with the path life is offering me. Don't worry if you're not 100% confident yet. Agreement doesn't mean you have it all figured out. It just means you're willing to meet life where it's asking you to show up. And if you've been feeling like everything is ending all at once, or you're standing on unstable ground, remember transitions often feel like chaos until clarity arrives. The wheel never turns without a little friction. But trust the numbers. Trust the timing. Trust that what's arriving holds more than what you're leaving behind. If this speaks to you, even a little, even in the smallest whisper, I invite you to ground it in the comments. I see the signs. I trust the shift. Because when you name it, you claim it. And that one moment of clarity, it can ripple into everything. Leo, if you've made it here, truly made it to the end of this message, then something inside you already knows you're standing at the edge of a new chapter. Not because someone told you, not because a prediction promised it, but because deep within, something has shifted. Something is awakening. And you're no longer willing to live life on autopilot, waiting for, someday, to arrive. You're starting to realize that the life you want doesn't knock politely. It responds to vibration. And right now, your energy is aligning with that shift. October 7th isn't just another date on a calendar, it's a mirror. It reflects back everything you've silently prepared for, all the work you've done that no one clapped for, and all the belief you've held on to even when things felt unclear. But here's the truth most won't say: alignment without action is just another daydream. And you, Leo, weren't born to sit on dreams. You were born to set them in motion. So I invite you, not as a guru, not as a voice behind a screen, but as someone who's walked through their own seasons of silence and fire, to do something radical. Trust what you know. Trust what your body has been telling you. Trust what the signs have been showing you. You don't need another sign. You are the sign. You're the signal that the tide is turning. So what's the first move you'll make after this video ends? Will you write that message? Will you finally launch the thing you've been sitting on? Will you light that candle, take that walk, say that truth you've been holding in your throat for months? Or maybe, just maybe, the boldest action right now is to believe fully, deeply, without apology, that good things are trying to find you. If only you'd stop running from your own readiness. Let this not be another moment you watch, feel stirred by, then forget. Let this be the one you move from. Write it down. Anchor it. Speak it. Embody it. Tell the universe you're in. Say it with me now, or better yet, write it in the comments so the energy becomes real. I am ready. I open to receive my October 7th breakthrough. Simple words, but sometimes it only takes one sentence to start a revolution inside you. And if this resonated with you, if something cracked open or settled deeper, I ask from the bottom of my heart, like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Not just to support this channel, though it means the world, but because this is how we build sacred space together. This is how we raise collective vibration. This is how we return home to ourselves. Thank you for being here with me and with yourself. Thank you for every moment you chose to stay, reflect, and receive. Thank you for trusting that the next version of your life is already unfolding and that you have full permission to walk into it. Eternal mindfulness will always be here, holding the space, guiding the light, and reminding you that the miracle you're waiting for might just be waiting for you to believe it's already begun.